There we go. Welcome back to the show. ThonLexy, your host, back again with another show. You guys know the rules. Hit the subscribe button on your way into the room. Also hit the like button and notification bells. You can be notified every single time we post content just like this. Of course, we're looking for a show sponsor for this great show we're going to have today. Everything over $20 qualifies. Cash App's donations are the only thing that go towards the goal of $100 for the show. If we make $100 in the Cash App, that guarantees a show the next day. That's the new model that we're working. It's been working out pretty well so far. Continue to support the shows. Drop those locations down in the comment section. Today we're going to discuss these delusional Christian women, but we got a particular homewrecker who's a Christian who tried to lean on the Bible, got really nasty. We're going to get into it. Let's go ahead and spin the clip. Cue that music. Fill the room. Oh, don't worry, Emmanuel, I won't. New Orleans in the building, let's get it. Welcome back. Let's get it.
I own 2 companies, Kendra.
My dog, darling.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care.
Tulsa, Oklahoma in the building. They said finally a notification. Let's get it. Let's rock out. Bad News VA in the building. Let's get it. North Carolina in the house. Let's go. We're taking no prisoners. We're taking no prisoners. Let's go. Toronto in the building. Chicago in the building. Let's go. I rock with Ray Morris. It's 2 up, 2 down. Let's get it. Let's make it happen. Let's spin a clip. What's up, Ebony? How you doing? Let's have a good show. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. Let's get it. Let's let one off for Fort Worth, Texas. Bryce says, yeah, bro, been shadow banned for a while. Robert L came in with a Cash App already. He sent in a 5, much up. First Cash App of the day. Let's get it. Ebony's representing Dallas, Texas. We're going to have us a show, y'all.
Okay. And why would it...
Let's get these likes up. Shouts out to Kid Exclusive representing DC. What's happening? Drop those locations. I'm ready to have a good show. Get her off of Kendra. Move the comments up here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? My people in the building. How we doing? How we doing? I'm about to get y'all over the hump with a real good show. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. Support the channel. We're already $5 into the sponsorship goal. Let's get it. Charleston, South Carolina in the building. Let's let one off for Charleston, South Carolina. New Jersey in the building as well. Let's get it. Time to have a good show.
You are really blonde, for real.
I beg your pardon.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't
Baltimore
care.
in the building. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Interesting archetype to start the show off. There were some interesting things that have been happening over on Kendra G's show. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have saw this call. If you haven't, I'm going to let it speak for itself, and you guys are going to know why I chose this particular call. Very interesting stuff that you can't make up. We're going to get right into it. I'm not wasting any time. Y'all know the rules. If y'all want to stop the show and say something to me, go ahead and drop it in the Cash App, and that'll guarantee that I'll stop the show and say what you have to say. That's our motto. We're looking for a show sponsor. Of course, everything over 20 qualifies, but we're trying to reach a goal of $100 per show so that we can continue to make this viable so that we can do this more often. All right, so let's get into it. Hit the subscribe button on your way into the building. Hit the like button on your way into the room. Let's go ahead and get into this first reaction, and let's talk about this issue.
I don't know. You can't see me, huh? Yeah.
Y'all light bills must be very cheap. Okay, this is
No,
better.
my light bill is actually like $240 a month. That's too high.
$240 a month. I don't even know what my light bill is, y'all. I imagine. I don't even know. Okay.
Okay, Kendra, I'm gonna sit right here. Can you see me?
Do you not? Are you by a bathroom? Do you not want to go to the bathroom where the light could be in your face?
I don't want to go in there because my kids, I don't know if bathroom clean or not. I don't want to.
Okay, your name is Crystal. Where you calling me from, baby?
I'm in Phoenix City, Alabama.
Alabama. How old are you, love?
37.
And you said you have kids. How many kids do you have?
I have 5.
How old are your 5 kids?
My oldest, she's gonna be 19 in December. I have a 17-year-old son, a 14-year-old son, a 10-year-old daughter, and a 8-month-old.
8-month-old. All by the same man?
No, I have 3 different baby daddies.
Oh, damn.
So why you not with the man you had the 8-month-old with?
Okay, so let me clock his T real quick, Kendra, because it's like a situationship, should I say? Because like we supposed to be together, but clearly he want something else going on. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Last night he fell asleep with his phone in his hand. Yeah, I grabbed it, went through it, all kind of shit. Excuse my language. Yeah. So I'm just like, if you're gonna be doing this right here, then we might as well we done been together 12 years. It seemed like we're basically growing apart. So therefore, just let it be. We can co-parent. We don't have to be together. But if you're doing this, then clearly you want something else. So I don't want to waste another 12 years, if that makes sense.
Okay, so this is you calling me today because just last night you went through his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all live together?
And like yeah.
You do live together?
Yeah. For now. Yeah.
So, honey,
Let's go ahead and AK her real quick. Oh my, oh my, oh my. She's calling for a new man while her man is living with her. Smells very fishy. The last archetype that we had covered, the last feature presentation, we covered the woman who was trying to get the guy to move faster on a relationship and whatever, and how a lot of people are using Kendra G's show to try to either antagonize or motivate a man who's already in the vicinity. I don't think that this is safe. I'm going to let the call speak for itself. Much love to Arvin Autry. He is the Super Chat sponsor. Let's get it. Much love to him. He just dropped a 20. Didn't even leave anything with it. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Seeing that you're upset at what you found, but you live with your 8-month-old baby daddy. You don't think that's a red flag for a man watching?
I mean, I don't know, because it's just like it's not gonna be.
What you mean you don't know? If you guys get a chance to watch this on the replay, look at Kendra G's reaction as soon as she said that. She almost took all the air out of Kendra. Yeah, man. It's definitely a red flag. I don't think you would even want the guy who would be willing to deal with you with those kind of circumstances. Let's go ahead and continue and get back into it.
It's not gonna keep going on. Like, no, I'm not gonna sit around and be unhappy because of the shit he doing. I'm not gonna do it. Like, life is too short. Tomorrow ain't promised to nobody.
Right. I understand this, but how many kids do you have by him?
2.
2. So the 10-year-old and the 8-month have the same father?
Right.
Okay, the last 2. And y'all been together for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reality is this. If you really want to go forward, we can, but I feel like you're upset with your child's father. You live with him. You have 2 kids by him. Any man watching this, this actually could be a dangerous situation because does he even know you're done with him? He might see this video and be pissed off that.
Before we go to this next part, let me read this Cash App. Ray Moore just came through with the Cash App sponsor spot. Let's get it. He says, Stein, we don't expect this work for free. Stay up. Let's get it. Much love, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, Ray Moore. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
His child's mother, who he currently lives with, called me up to find a new man. I'm not saying for you to stay with him if you don't want to, but it's like, how can a new man date you as you're living with your child's father?
Yeah. I went in there and showed him that I was on the call. He was like, well, I hope you find somebody. Yeah, me too.
Ma'am, that's not a flex. If he said, I hope you find somebody, that means he's not pressed about you looking for a new guy. And that makes you look dumber for getting on here and trying to make him feel some type of way when you need to just talk to him, decide how you feel, go to therapy, do whatever you need to do to decide if you want to stay with this dude or not. This isn't the right way. Trying to leverage someone else's platform where someone's actually trying to get things done and really you're just trying to make somebody else upset. Now, what if he just started beating the absolute hell out of you like during this live call and all Kendra could do was say, stop, stop, stop from the other end? Like, again, he'd be wrong, but I'm just saying you're this is a risky thing. And the fact that you think that's a flex, like, oh yeah, and I told him, yep, and he know I'm on a call too. Yeah. You're shaming yourself, you're shaming your kids. Let's get back into it.
Oh, you told him you was calling me.
I showed him, yes. I went there, I said, look, I said, I'm finna get on. And he's like, I hope you find somebody. Like, me too, bro. Like, what?
But how do we know you're just not in your emotions, but by Friday you'll be over it?
I don't know.
You are really
I don't know,
dumb.
Kendra. Like, I'm just tired. I'm tired. And it's like when a person can, I don't know, you can only take so much. You can only kick a dog to the curb so many times before they won't come back. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not going to keep sitting around being played like a fool. I'm not going to do it.
I got to charge my...
12 years. 12 years. You think that in 12 years, he didn't show you anything that he was the kind of guy to where he'd be messing around with a bunch of different chicks and whatever, you would find stuff in his phone. Please. This is why a lot of you women, if your household is in order, everything is going good, he's paying the bills, he's coming home, stay out of his phone. Because you're getting ready to lose a man, and there ain't going to be nothing out there in the dating market for you with them 5 kids and everything, a guy who you like. And you're about to leave the only dude who want to sit around you. And Kendra's right. I can sense you're going to be over this in 2 weeks. I want to say, all you couples out there who break up and y'all are still living in the house, y'all are ashy as absolute hell. Like, that's so ashy. Stop breaking up and you still live together. If you can't afford a U-Haul at the moment and you can't get the hell away from the person, y'all aren't broken up. It's ratchet. is dangerous. Somebody always tries to date or do something during the process to be disrespectful to the other person and make them feel some type of way. The next thing you know, we're all in the county. It's not safe. It's not wise. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
I mean, I get that, honey. What do you do for a living?
I mean, what you think? You think I just should call back at a later time, you know?
I think you need to get your stuff together. I think that you're a mom of 5. You know, you live with your child's father. Last night you saw something. So this is a reaction, a retaliation to let him know I can find someone else new too. But the type of man I think you might want to attract somebody better than your child's father, I'm assuming. But any man with any sense would not jump into this situation. There's no reason. This is a very, this could be dangerous for one thing. And it's just, why would a guy that truly has his stuff together sign up for this drama?
Exactly. One thing I'm going to add before I move on to the next caller, because I don't want to even talk about her dating standards. She doesn't even need to be out here. Another thing that black men are hearing, and I used to hear this during my ratchet days when I was dealing with ratchet women. I've talked about how I used to deal with ratchet women. I'm in recovery. I'm doing just fine, okay? But back when you deal with ratchet women back in the day, women, they'll say crazy things to you before they know what's appropriate or what isn't. Like, you could even hear a black woman say, like, yeah, anybody who date me got to be able to fight because my baby daddy, it's like, what? What did you just say? You just said I need to know. You just say I need to know how to fight because you got drama with your baby daddy? No, thank you. I mean, I was dealing with ratchet women, but I still was moving with discernment. As soon as they tried to hit me with the whole, do you got a gun? Like, can you fight? Oh, no. Get your life together and hit me up when all that calms down. No. All right. Don't do it, fellas. If she asks you if you know how to fight when she's single, I promise you, it's a warning. Take it. Now, moving on. Good looking 40-plus-year-old women who don't have children and usually have good careers because that's what they put in place of the things that they should have been caring about. I want to let you women know something. You don't get to ask for what the good looking young women who are childless. See, I think you think that being good looking or looking youthful means you can have youthful dating standards. And that is a misconception. That's not accurate. That's not how it works. Just because you're a 48-year-old woman with good genetics or you're seen to be aging gracefully, good for you. But here's the thing. It doesn't mean that you get to ask for what a young, prime, tight body, less bodies, younger in their 20s to 30-year-old woman can ask for. This is why Kevin Samuels, he was in his 50s when he put out all that great work, and he talked about how he couldn't date any women who were 50 or 40 or anywhere near his age, because a lot of times older women, even if they don't have any kids, if they look really good, their body's in a nice package, a lot of the time they got rules that they think you're going to have to adhere to because they've been living so long. You should just know to be considerate of her because of all she's gone through. And men aren't looking to be considerate. We're the ones coming in to take care of things and pay the majority of things, do a lot of the heavy lifting. We're not looking to get on a woman's program at any age. You women always act like once you start dating men who are in their 40s, that they're now more inclined to want to listen to you. And nothing could be further from the truth, seeing that men who are approaching 40 and 50, these are men who are at their absolute best. You see? And since these men are at their absolute best, they can still ask for younger, more feminine, cooperative, and sweet women. They don't have to date the women who are their age. Women are always acting like men who are older are looking for a guy who has this extra advanced level conversation because now we're tired of women who have nice bodies and we need a woman who's going to challenge us and talk shit to us all day. Nothing could be further from the truth. We prefer an easy, moldable woman in just about all stages of our life. It's the truth. It's the truth. We got somebody else who just reined in the Cash App. Mick just dropped a 3. Much love, Mick. He dropped 3. He got 3 on it. We taking it. B. Sammy says, I own 2 companies, Kendra.
I own 2 companies, Kendra.
Much love, B. Sammy. Let's get back into it.
I saw your name on the last one, so I think there was something going on. How you pronounce your name, love?
Morte.
Morte. Let me get good. She did it for you. Morte, where you calling us from?
BA.
BA?
Alexandria, Virginia.
Okay, what's your ethnicity?
Ethiopian.
Okay, Ethiopian. How old are you, Morte?
48.
Oh, you're 48?
Mm-hmm.
You look really good.
Thanks.
Okay. You probably do. What's your secret to looking so youthful?
My mom on my daddy's gene.
Okay, there you have it. Am I saying it right? Morte?
Yes.
Morte, VA, Ethiopian, 48, flawless. What do you do for a living?
I'm actually work as a clinical research coordinator.
Clinical research coordinator.
A project manager as well.
So 2 different jobs?
It's the same title.
Okay.
And I run.
Okay, so I'm just put clinical research coordinator. Do you have any kids?
No.
No kids. Have you ever been married?
No.
All right. Let's do it.
I
So
can't
we
believe
got
I'm
Morte,
here. I
Virginia.
cannot believe I'm here.
God.
God.
You ready?
Yes.
We got Morte, Virginia. She's Ethiopian, 48 years old. What's your zodiac sign?
An Aries.
She's an Aries. She does clinical research. She's a clinical research coordinator. No kids, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
Somebody nice, really, just respectful, thoughtful, respect his family, respect his people, respect himself. Really. That's about it.
Okay, what are your deal breakers?
Cheaters, liar, a person is not consistent, not emotionally intelligent, not aware of his surroundings and his people. Just not together.
Not together.
Yeah.
Okay. Should he look a certain way?
Not really, as long as I'm attracted to him and he's attracted to me.
Should he make a certain amount of money?
As long as he take care of himself
Okay.
and take care of me once in a while.
Say what?
And take care of me once in a while.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Dang. Okay. I should have been prepared. I'm like
You gotta stand up. We gotta see your full body. Make sure you get some good light for us.
Sorry.
Okay. Can you move back a little bit? Okay, we see you. You look good. She's 48. She looks good for 40. I mean, you look good, period. People hate when I say she looks good for a certain age. So
It's okay.
I try to stop saying that, but I do think you look exceptional for your age.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it's okay. It's okay. I get that all the time. Well, 48? You looking for 48? I don't know what 48 is supposed to look like, but
yeah, I know. People
I like this comment. Robert says she's not attractive, but 48, unmarried, and no kids. She's bunny boiling crazy. Absolutely, Robert. Absolutely. The comment section overwhelmingly made a decision on her and Kendra G's comment section, and that decision was that she was an absolute red flag. And most women who are 40 plus and single, you're going to automatically be a red flag to a lot of men. And that's to all the women out there who even support me who are over 40. That is not an insult, but there's a reality that all women who, when they pass 40, they have to deal with. That especially if you don't have any children, there are no indicators that any man has made any kind of long decision on you the whole time you've been sitting there fine, just sitting there in the dating market. It's questionable. I'm not saying that it's just gonna automatically disqualify you, but men are like, why do you look so good? And like for all these years, you've just been like, nobody wants to touch you. And then usually they eventually figure out why. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
Women have get mad when I say that, so I try to catch myself, but it's my natural, my natural feeling. But nevertheless, let's keep going. Say your name for me again. Pronounce it.
Morte.
Morte. Morte, when was your last relationship?
End of the beginning of this year, actually.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'll skip that answer.
3 flaws you have to work on.
Anytime
Patience.
anytime they skip that question, it's always a red flag. Women should really answer. Even if they lie, you should answer. It's never gonna look good when you guys don't answer. I rock with Ray Moore says it's funny these type of women live for that "how old do you think I am" moment. All these years, still couldn't get a man. Yeah, it's like, you know, a woman's old when she's like, "How old do you think I am?" It's like, if you were an age that you were proud of, you just say it. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
I'm a little bit impulsive sometimes. I need to work on that. Think before I make decisions. And then overthinking.
Overthinking. Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
It's so funny because it's like you like pretty much like selling your soul, like someone to accept you. But however, I'm a nice person, really. I'm kind. I work hard. I'm very empathetic, understanding. What else? I'm beautiful. Can't believe I'm saying this whole. That's it, really. I'm respectful. I know what I need to do if I happen to be in a relationship.
Haven't had one of these in a while. Let's go ahead and read it. Child Free LT says, you complain when women are single mothers, then you complain when we don't have kids by a certain age. Oh, ma'am, I think you're misinterpreting my messaging. It isn't anything like, again, being a single mother, that's its own issue. Being 48, being almost 50 years old and never having any children, that's a separate issue. You understand that? Because again, you can have a child at 17 years old and that not be the man who's your husband, and that's having you succeeded in having a baby, but that was the wrong timing. You could be 48 years old and not have had any children and lose dating market value because of it. That's called two things can be true at the same time. Absolutely. It's not a contradiction. It's two realities that we discuss here on this platform. Okay, let's get back into the show.
Relationship, really uplifting whoever my person is going to be, and expecting the same from the other person as well. Really, just all around good person, really.
Now you're 48. What's the age range you want to date?
I'll say 45 till 58, maybe.
Okay. And should he be in Virginia?
Preferably, but doesn't have to be.
You said 50?
58.
Or 58. 45 to 58. Do you care if he has kids?
Maybe one.
Okay, one kid. All right. So Morte, I said it right?
Morte's
Morte's in Virginia, Ethiopian. She's 48 years old, a clinical research coordinator, no kids, never married. Are you on the Kendra G singles dating app?
I'm not, but I need to be.
Okay, so let's keep insurance.
Now, moving on to the delusion of the afternoon. Now, of course, y'all know where I stand on Christianity in itself. That's not what I'm here to discuss. But what I'm here to discuss is what I've always discussed on this platform. How Christianity, when it comes to black women and black men, sometimes it creates confusion for us in the dating market. Either we're misinterpreting the Bible or we're using it incorrectly for our own benefit or our own convenience. For everybody knows my take. I believe just about most black Christians are pretty poor Christians. And I don't say that to be insulting. I say that because most black people, we just create our own versions. We're like, yeah, it exists in my heart, and but I do this and I don't do this that a Christian does. I don't follow that rule. I don't follow that rule. And it's like, well, hell, like, is there any standards within this religion that yield so much control and has so much influence in this world? It's true. For it to be controlling so much, it don't seem like you have to do a lot to be taken serious in the Christian religion. We got strippers coming onto this show talking about, I'm looking for a man who's spiritually intact and believe in God, God-fearing. They be strippers. The barrier to entry to Christianity is pretty questionable by itself. But when you look at how women are just maliciously using Christianity for as leverage in the dating market, and so that they can bully men around and get men to do what they want, it's absurd. But to see a woman like this who found a way to actually misinterpret the Bible to such an extent that she actually divorced the man that she was with and destroyed her family is unconceivable work, and she deserves every bit of the lashing she's getting ready to get this afternoon. All right, without further ado, y'all know the rules. Cash Apps stop the show. We're going to let this play. Let's go ahead and spin the clip.
What you do for a living?
I work for an insurance company.
Insurance company. You have any kids?
No children.
No kids. Patrice, right?
Yes.
Patrice, Dallas, 36. What's your zodiac sign?
I don't believe in that.
Okay. And no kids. Never married?
Biblically, yes. Biblically, no. Legally, yes. I'll just leave it at that. So legally, I was married, but not biblically.
How many years were you legally
I
married?
beg your pardon?
2.5.
So when did you get divorced?
2019.
So was it a deal? Like you got married to help somebody out?
No. So I don't believe in divorce and remarriage. And he's been married 2 times before me. So marriage is until death. So I had to leave due to my beliefs. So anybody that's been married before, it's a deal breaker.
Okay, so for anybody who might not be following that, basically she was married to someone and she had already known that he had been divorced 2 times before she got with him. But during the time when she was married to him, she came into this biblical discovery that that's not holy, or that's not proper, that's not pleasing in God's eyes, or whatever the case may be. So she decided to divorce her husband. Now, I think they had kids within this marriage. So it isn't just their relationship that comes to an end when she just comes to this spiritual. This is where the church has to come into accountability. It has to take accountability, and I find the church responsible. She might be an idiot woman. That's no doubt about it. She's certainly a moron. But besides the fact that she's a moron, she's also a victim. She's victim of an indoctrination. Remember, I always tell you guys, the best Christians out there are the ones who don't take it serious. The standard Christian, the Christian who says they're a Christian, but they don't really move. The Christian who actually interprets the Bible and starts moving in a literal way, they can start messing stuff up. Like people who refuse medicine because they believe that God is going to save them, and then they die because they believe God had a miracle coming, and then they pass away. The church should be responsible for that as well. When I look at situations like this, I see a bigger problem at hand. I see religious indoctrination seeping into our lives and hosting on to our bodies and taking over them. And the next thing you know, we got women out here wrecking their homes because they believe that that's what God wants them to do. Or like that young lady that young girl who self-deleted because she thought she could go be with her mother in the afterlife, who she missed so terribly bad. People are misinterpreting the Bible every single day to a fault, and nobody's being held accountable for it. I'm here to say it's BS. I'm here to say a lot of these religious leaders need to be called out when stuff like this happens. I think that this woman is a delusional, evil woman, but I also feel, because of knowing what I know and researching what I've researched, she's also a victim. And those kids are certainly a victim. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
So you won't get married again yourself then?
Let's hit the like. Let's get
No,
the
I
likes up.
will, because I've never been married before outside of him. That's why I say biblically I wasn't married.
Girl, now you know it's gonna make no damn sense.
It
I
do,
beg
it
your
do,
pardon?
it does.
I'm here to tell
So
you
you
right
were
now.
legally married.
We don't care.
And you want to get
We don't
married
care.
again, but
Mhm.
you won't marry a man that was once married because you don't believe in somebody getting married after they were married.
Right. It's until death. So if you go out and marry someone,
But honey, but you were married and you got divorced for whatever reason. So I'm not here to challenge why you got divorced, but you essentially wouldn't even marry yourself. You are the person you're talking about.
we can leave it at that.
Okay. Patrice Dallas, 36, insurance company, no kids, was married legally but not biblically, and ready to get married again. And if you are a divorcee, you are not an option for her. What kind of
Right.
man you looking for, girl?
So
Even though she's divorced and wants to get married again, you can't make this up. Oh, but because he had 2 divorces, even though I actually went through the legal process and got married, that don't count. That wasn't biblical. Girl, shut up. You sound crazy. Let's get back into it.
I'm not really looking, but I want a man that is emotionally ready. A man of the Most High, so he's living the word, not just talking about it. Like I said, someone that's not been married, financially stable, a kind man, loving, just a good person.
Okay.
I
What are
beg
your
your
deal
pardon?
breakers?
Much love.
If you
Thank
have more than 2 children, that's a deal breaker. And if they're under 7, someone that's mean, someone that's a leech, that doesn't have a job, doesn't have a career, just not doing anything with their life. No. So at least match me or be doing something with your life.
We have an audio issue. I wonder if it's on my end. Let's see if it went away. Should he look a certain way?
Be taller. Is that me?
It might be. I'm just gonna take you out and I'll try to bring you right back in, okay? Should he look a certain way?
I still hear it. I don't know that it's me though.
I don't hear it anymore.
Okay. Just be taller than me. I'm 5'7.5". No, not really. Just be taller than me.
Larry's like, match you. Yeah, it's like, ma'am, you at least have to match me. I mean, I have nothing, but you have to match me. I don't have anything to offer. Larry's right. It's like the nerve. All right, let's get back into it.
Should he make a certain amount of money?
At least 50K.
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Cam. That's when you stand up.
Farouk says, so a blank is okay. The only reason why I'm not saying that word is because I'm not sure what YouTube's okay with. But again, you just admitted that you're active. The moment that you ignored the question of like, when was the last time you were intimate with somebody and you ignored it, I think, or maybe that hasn't came yet and I just gave it up. But either way, you gave up that you basically break rules from the Bible all the time. And that really isn't the thing to focus on, because no matter how good or bad of a Christian a person is, most people who come from a religious background or were taught this at a sensitive age, like developmental years, like age 1 to 7, and they were taught this information, it doesn't matter if they're a good Christian or a bad Christian, they still fall back on it and can take it serious and can really believe that they're doing something noble, because we're taught to see Christianity or to see these viewpoints as something safe, even when they could be destructive. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and get back into it. Hit the like button on your way into the building.
Can you see me?
See your legs. Okay.
Ooh.
All right,
Sorry.
we got you, Mama. Patrice, when was your last relationship?
Last real relationship was the man I was married to.
Okay. Oh, we got some paid questions for you. Damon's in it.
Squared Away says she's okay with a guy with kids out of wedlock, meaning of a blank, but is not okay with the divorcee, it's because she's an idiot. And it's because she's trying to make her divorce not look as bad. So since he was divorced twice, her failed marriage just cancels out. She thinks that she's an undivorced woman because it wasn't biblical. Her marriage wasn't biblical. I mean, technically, ma'am, you're not a Christian if you've like ate fish on a Friday and done a lot of things that you do every day that abandons the boundaries that are set by the Christian religious construct. You break the rules all the time, like most Christians do, because most Christians, their Christianity is on prepaid. They can't sign the real contract. They do the prepaid version where they can like cancel whenever they want, leave and come and go. Ooh, I ain't been to church in a month of Sundays. They can't commit. You look in the community, black community for sure. All you see is a community full of black people who say that they're Christian. None of them are committed to being a Christian. And then when Jehovah's Witness, people who are like really about that life, roll up on them, they slam the door. People who want to minister to them or whatever, man, they don't want to talk to anybody who really is trying to Christian out here. All right. Let's get back into it.
Said, so divorced men are a no-go, but men that have children out of wedlock are okay.
You are really dumb. For real.
That's on them. Like, that has nothing to do with me.
I guess we're trying to understand the mindset that you have from a biblical sense. So the notion would be like, so if a guy was married and had kids, he's not an option. But if a guy procreated and didn't marry the woman he procreated with, he is an option.
That's between them and the Most High.
You are
That
really
don't have nothing to
No,
do
dumb.
with me.
we're asking you.
Yeah, I mean, he's still an option, yes.
Okay, so just for clarity, he can have kids and never been married, but he couldn't have kids and been married.
Right.
Divine Photo says, sounds like a walking contradiction. So you don't want a man that was married, but you was married, so that means you are the walking red flag.
Well, you got to understand the Bible to know where I'm coming from.
Man, but you don't understand the Bible. You don't understand the Bible. That's why we're all here. There's going to be a paid question at the end that exposes this. So stay until the end.
When you've been married, let's just say two people that are single and they get married and, you divorce for whatever reason. The Bible says you can do that, but it doesn't give any reason where you should be going out and remarrying. You're married to that person until death. Now, if you go get remarried, you're in adultery until you divorce them and go back to your first spouse. You got to understand the word. That's why I'm not here to, argue about it.
The question is, we're trying to figure out, why are you the exception to your rule? Because you yourself were married. So anybody's the exception if you've never been married before. Marriage is for two people who have never been married before. That's what marriage is. Okay, Patrice, we understand that, but I guess what we're trying to understand is because you were once married yourself. So it
wasn't biblical though.
You are really dumb.
I'm here to
For
tell you
real.
right now, we don't care.
My dog, darling.
We don't care.
So could a man be like you? Could he say he was married, but it wasn't biblical? Is he an option?
Yes, he can. If he's never married prior to the one that he married, let's just say for instance, me, I was never married prior to the man that I was married to, right? He was married 2 times before me. So I was his third marriage. So therefore, his first spouse, she's still living. He's still married to her biblically. Just because you go out and get remarried again, that doesn't make that marriage null and voided. You're still married to that person. But a lot of people don't see it that way.
Yeah, because when he divorced that last woman, he was no longer legally married to her. Other people aren't counting on that there are other people out there misinterpreting the Bible the way you are and expecting them to still be, I divorced her, but really we're still married. Imagine you divorce somebody and they pull up to your house 5 years later like, you know what, I'm ready to come home. Did you read the Bible? Technically, I ain't gotta go nowhere. You would be like, what? Let's get back into it.
So should a man think you're still married to him since he was your first husband?
He wasn't my first. He wasn't mine. He never belonged to me. He still belonged to his first spouse.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you got married to him,
How
you didn't know he was
How 20 Skinny says, I own 2 versions of the Bible, Kendra.
married previously twice before?
I did know. However, I didn't come into, listen though, I knew, but I didn't come into this knowledge until after we married. So when I knew that it was wrong, I got out of it.
Is that why you got a divorce?
Yes.
Okay, so y'all were married.
What an idiot.
And then when did you get the knowledge that he's still married biblically to his first wife?
This was probably in 2018, 17.
Were you in church when I'm just wondering, how did you get the information?
Yeah, I was in church, but I was praying about it too. So it was just something that I was struggling with. And, once I came into the knowledge, I just knew that I needed to get out of it. I wasn't going to just stay in it just because. No.
Okay. So I'm learning. I'm trying to learn from your.
Okay. Now y'all see, she came to a realization. She realized, okay, I can't really be married to this guy by biblical standards because he's been divorced twice, but it's really she didn't read the Bible correctly. And that part is coming up. Stay tuned.
So you're saying you were never biblically married because your husband was an ex-divorcee.
Right. Yes. And his first spouse is still living. Now, has she been, passed on, he has the right to go remarry. But while she's still living, no. She belongs to him and he belongs to her.
You are really dumb. For real.
I rock with Ray Moore says, she gonna make Kendra slower than she is. Yeah, this is very painful to listen to. Let's continue.
Okay. Okay. We got some more paid questions. Pharaoh's Kingdom said, man, after Bible talk, you're twisting it for your benefit. Stop the cap.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Okay. No response?
No.
Okay. Texas.
It's probably because you don't have a good one. If you had a good counter to it, if you had something to say that could actually prove it wrong, you probably would have something to say. So you're just gonna plead the fifth on a lot of these questions because they're good ones. Let's continue.
Sweet Kai said, all sins are equal though, biblically. So how is children out of wedlock okay?
That, like I said, that's between them and the Most High. That don't have nothing to do with me. I didn't have the children out of wedlock.
But you're sleeping with the guy who had the children out of wedlock, you idiot. AK this bitch. What the hell? Ma'am, you divorced your husband because of 2 marriages that he had before you. Or so you say. But you're okay with a guy who has slept with a bunch of women outside of marriage. You'll deal with him. And but if he's committing that sin, you're like, well, that's between him and God. Why didn't you give the man who you were building a life with that grace, you idiot? God, you're dumb. We got a new show sponsor who just came through, and it is the one and only Jennifer Bishop. Let's get it. Somebody says, we need to pay time for dealing with this again. Much love, I appreciate you. You got us halfway to go. We only made halfway last time. That's why I got to take a day off. It was lovely. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and get it. Oh, Ray Moore dropped 25 actually too. So that puts both of you guys at the sponsor spot actually. Until somebody else drops more than 25, you guys are both the sponsor. Let's go ahead and get back into it.
So you don't think a man that has kids belongs to his baby mama?
No, because they didn't get married.
But they have kids together. So would you understand when he has to be there and show up for her because she's his children's mom?
Yeah, of course. But that doesn't mean that they belong to each other just because they have children.
Okay.
Rent a Pop Session says, Thon, this is the most articulate idiot you've ever covered. That's true. And it's so funny that you said that because I was discussing this last night. This is why, even though I wanted to just trash her right out of the gate, I wanted to just throw her right in the garbage as delusional and so on and so forth and a homewrecker. But then I realized there was a much bigger issue at hand, that there's somebody who's even more accountable for this broken family than even she is. And, you know, this is what has always bothered me about when you see people who are actually hurting themselves with their religious indoctrination. And not just Christianity. You see Muslims do this, Mormons, Scientologists, anybody who's been taught a destructive belief system from age 1 to 7. You see this parasitic host latched onto them to where even though all their faculties are certainly still firing, you know, you're not looking at a dumb person. It's almost like they're hijacked, for lack of a better term. They're under like a, you know, I don't want to even say delusion, because what happened to them, it happened to them young. But you're right. She actually is. She's not an idiot. That's why religious indoctrination can be a dangerous thing, because you could be a very smart person and still be tripping over certain aspects of religion simply because you were taught it really, really young. A lot of people look into the Scientology community and they go, oh, that's crazy, that's absurd and whatever. But there are a lot of people who really, truly believe Scientology because they were born into it. A lot of people never think about the power of being born into a belief system and the battle that you're put into of having to rewire that if you try to compete against something that was brought into your life that young. But yeah, thank you for that comment. Let's get into it.
Ooh, child, you know this is, you touched on a post tonight. That's what I said. I'll marry your delusional self. She all right with me, Miss Kendra.
Whoever that is talking, they don't love themselves.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people, they're not going to see it like that, Kendra. A lot of people think they can just get divorced and remarried just for whatever reason. If you understand it, you understand. If you don't, then you're just going to see it the way you want to. And
you
that's
don't
fine.
even understand it.
I'm not looking for that person. I'm looking for the person that understands what it is.
Y'all will be two people who are misinterpreting the Bible in a relationship.
Coffee Killer, what scriptures are in the Bible that refers to what you're talking about?
Ooh, chat.
This was where it got interesting because, boy, there isn't nothing a Christian hates more than like evidence and receipts. Much love to Revenant Roland. He just came through and took the super chat spot with a vengeance. He dropped 50 on it. He says, cook this great value version of Derek Jackson's wife. Thank you for showing the hypocrisy of black women in the modern day church. Much love. I feel I've done a good job taking leadership on this particular topic. A lot of other content creators don't want to touch it because Christianity has been it's become like a comfy bed for us to lay on, but we don't really know how good the quality of sleep is that we're actually getting. So again, it's got to be addressed somewhere. So I appreciate people who support the fact that we don't have these conversations. We have to just talk about. Somebody says not just black women. Of course, not just black women. Black men also allow religious indoctrination to get in the way of not only living a better life, but it can actually get in the way of of their decision making and their discernment in the dating market. A lot of men have made poor dating decisions because they made it based off of biblical scripture, and that's not wise. Even if you love being a Christian, and some of the things in the Bible are beautifully written, but again, it's all about interpretation, and this very well puts on display the negative effects of people interpreting the Bible the wrong way. Let's go ahead and get into it.
There's a lot of them. If you go and read about divorce and remarriage, I believe it's in Corinthians, but don't quote me. I have to get it.
What's the scripture that gave you your aha moment and said, I got to divorce my husband? Because you said you read the Bible after your marriage. You knew he was already married twice, but in that marriage, you read the Bible and it educated you differently. So what was the scripture that made you educated to this point and this belief?
When it talks about, you divorcing your husband or your wife, it mentions how, if you go and remarry someone else,
Right, we're asking you, do you know where that was and where it's at in the Bible?
Like I said, no, I can't get it off the top of my head, but it's in there. I believe it's in Corinthians, but I would have to go back and get it.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna pull it up.
Okay. Let me move this one. Let me see. Do you belong? Pab said, "Do you belong to the Church of Christ? My friend believes there have to be certain reasons for divorce."
No, I grew up Pentecostal, but I'm not that anymore.
Okay. Love and Dating in Los Angeles says, Christians have no idea what the woman is talking about in regards of marriage. This is the way of the Israelites.
I do subscribe to them, but a lot of them believe in polygamy, so.
Okay. We're going to move forward. So I asked you when was your last relationship again? Did I ask you that?
It would have been my ex.
Okay.
2017.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I pass.
Okay. 3 flaws you have to work on.
Being more patient, more punctual, because I do run, like the other lady said, I run late. And maybe being more open to other people's thoughts.
Okay. Did we do the Kendra Cam? Did I skip it?
We did.
Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I got my own. I'm sound-minded. I wouldn't say I'm crazy, but teach his own. I'm loving. I know how to cook. I'm just a good person all around.
Okay. We got some people calling the Bible, child, but before I get to that one, Tiff says, was he a good man and a husband, but she left when she found out he was biblically still married? So I want to know, were you happily married? Was everything going great?
This is important.
But once you got this knowledge, did you just automatically get a divorce because of that reason?
That is the reason. Relationships has their ups and downs, but as a whole, he was a good man. Yes, he was.
My dog died. You are really dumb. For real.
I have to say, ma'am, you deserve just about everything that you get in this regard. Again, I really feel bad for that guy. But I hate that all of you are a victim to a really, really, really destructive belief system that has not gotten its due critique. It has not been reprimanded the way that it should. And it's causing real damage. It's causing real damage. One might say, well, maybe she's just using religion to break up with him, and there really isn't and she just used Christianity so that she could get out of the relationship. That's always a possibility. But studying these type of things so long, and I've been observing this abandoned area of Black discussion for quite a long time. You really know what you're looking at when you know what you're looking at after a while. I know when I'm looking at somebody whose mind is absolutely warped. And I think I've certainly seen people like you who have all their intellectual faculties intact, but you're stuck in the mud when it comes to the logic. You're stuck in the mud when it comes to the logic. I want to see if that part gets pulled up where that person pulled up scripture.
It was. Okay. Hustle and Flow said, Bible says you are married until death. Divorce is allowed due to fornication or abandonment that will allow you to remarry. That is Matthew 19:9, they're saying. Okay. All right, honey. Let's get into it. Are you on the Kendra? Oh.
Yeah.
Singles, the dating app.
So again, I think someone else had pulled up a scripture from Corinthians as well. The actual scripture was in Corinthians. Somebody pulled it up in Kendra G's comment section. You guys can go over to her channel and go in her comment section. Somebody pulled up the actual verse, and under the comment, it actually read, I probably got time to read it real quick. It actually read the verse off. It didn't just read the verse off. Let's see, Kendra G. She didn't just read the verse off. Here she goes.
You ready?
Somebody had posted it in the comment section. I want to see if I can find it and read it. If not, I remember the essence of what she was saying. Is there such... Either way, the lady basically pulled up the scripture that she thought she understood, and then explained it for what it actually was. I can't find it, but anywho, there was a woman in Kendra G's comment section. She posted the actual scripture of what was said, and you can see why she misinterpreted it, but that lady in that comment section did a good job of letting her know what that scripture was actually trying to interpret. And this is why religion is so dangerous, no matter what. Not just talking about Christianity. I'm talking about anywhere where supernatural claims that can't be validated with real evidence are being thrown around. Because a lot of times these very loose ideas are just up to the interpretation of the person. And we have so many different people functioning at all different kind of intelligence levels, and they're perceiving the world in so many different ways to be going through unique pain at the same time. So again, when things like this happen, or when children get hurt behind their ideas, behind religion, there's no one holding the church or these organizations accountable for these things. But when I look at this woman, of course, I see a homewrecker. I see a woman who destroyed her family amongst so many other women in the Black community who destroy their families. But what's really upsetting to me is that she isn't the only person out there who is taking Christianity or some other form of religion so serious that it's actually affecting the quality of their life. It's actually affecting serious decisions that they make, and we just can't have that. We just can't have it. We got a couple cash apps that came in. Much love to Brandon McFadden. He dropped 25. He says, let's get it, Don. Let's go. We are $17 away from goal. $17 away from goal. I got a good show planned for y'all if we reach goal. Self-help Silo says, she's pressed, fidgeting, chaos incarnate. Facts. Nothing about her read piece. She was claiming to be this religious woman who was so religious, and she's just, I take the Bible so serious that I divorced a man when I find out our marriage isn't biblical. But your demeanor nothing about your demeanor is given prosperous. Christians love to throw that word around, prosperous. There was nothing prosperous about you. Nothing about you exuded prosperous. You looked really drained. You looked combative. You looked unpleasant. Your attitude was less than pleasing. I don't think any of my $40,000 a year men deserve to have to sit around you. Any of my $55,000 to $60,000 a year men, for sure. My $80K men don't got to be looking at you. My $100K men don't even see you. And rightfully so. There are some 100K men who like average women and don't mind dealing with the girl next door, but your attitude got to be better than yours. Your attitude's got to be way better than yours. Christian women, a lot of the times, are some of the worst women to deal with, because a lot of times they aren't real Christians, yet they want to tell you what you can and can't do with them based off of their flimsy devotion to that said religion. Don't think you. I'm urging a lot of men. I'm making a hard stance for a lot of black men to just stay away from women who are really, really staunch Christians. Like, if she just comes from a Christian family, that might not be so bad. But just if you really just take a chance, just little experiment, thought experiment, go out into the world. Wherever you see black people taking Christianity biblical to the T, you should look at the quality of their life. It usually isn't high. And that's why a lot of people just find themselves out of it because there's not anything. Oh, somebody stopped the show. Actually, somebody just stole the Cash App sponsor shot. That's Kendrick. Let's get it, Kendra Frederick, actually. Much love. Thank you, Kendra. Appreciate you. Thank you. You're the show sponsor for this evening, and you're the reason why we made go. Y'all show Kendra some love, man. She's the reason why we're showing back up for another show tomorrow, and I got a good one planned for y'all. It's about to get real tomorrow. We got a good show planned for tomorrow. And again, if you're a non-religious man out there and you deal with a woman who is in church, that's fine. That's fine, but make sure that she understands where you stand and she respects it. The church doesn't do anything uplifting for men nowadays. All the single conferences and everything is for the women. And it's shocking because in the Bible, there isn't anything really preached to affirmative for women. I'm surprised any woman who's a feminist in today's day could even take Christianity serious. Even like, biblically speaking, if you look at biblically speaking, the woman isn't even in a place that's necessarily favorable. Much love. Oh, Kenda. I'm sorry. Did I say your name wrong? Oh, you got it different. Okay. Either way, you know my heart's in the right place. I appreciate your support. But yeah, it's frustrating to see when you see people from the black community struggling with these. See, me, I'm more of like a big brother on these type of topics. Like, as much as I want to bash her, she looks sick. She looks sick with that thing I've seen people sick with my whole life. They're intelligent, but they've either spent too much time in the church or they pick and choose when to like move on religious standards that they take serious. It's always been destructive. Every single time you see a Christian taking the Bible really, like actually literally, it always looks really bad. It makes me feel sorry for a lot of the people out there who aren't breaking their families but doing other things because they're so indoctrinated with religion and they're interpreting it in a way that it isn't safe. Like, a lot of people don't know that there are young people who have self-deleted simply because they lost someone who they love, and someone taught them the concept of heaven at a young enough age to where they do something to themselves so that they can go to heaven. And this happens, it's documented. Shouts out to all the great work out there in Austin, Texas, and the non-religious community of Austin, Texas out there, and the good work that they do. They're the ones who collect all this data every single year. There are very, 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 very negative things happening every single day in the black community because people are indoctrinated with this religion. Here's a light example. You ever watch the movie Friday and remember when Bernie Mac comes over there and he's like, Miss Parker, and he's coming over there and he's acting like he's praying or whatever, but really he actually isn't praying. He's laying wood, right? Right? It's pretty nuts. But the reason why that was funny, because this is such a common thing in the black community. The only reason why that parody was funny, it wouldn't have been funny if so many of us black people all over the country didn't relate. Why do pastors tend to move like this in our communities? I'll tell you why. Because they're betting on the fact that you're just as indoctrinated and controllable and movable as you should be. See, men can wield power for their own benefit. We know about Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, so on and so forth. But it's something about that religious, I'm close to God, manipulation, like I'm closer to God than you, so you should trust me. Let me lay this holy wood type, you know what I mean? Like, like so many, we haven't mentioned the husbands in the black community who have come home to pastors on top of them, if we can, on top of their women. Because that woman might have been a good woman, but the only reason why that slime ball got so close was because she trusts God. It wasn't just because that lady was just easy and if it could have been the milkman or anybody. It's the reason why the pastor could get your woman when you're not looking so easy. It's because on some level, they know that you're under mind control, and they know that they can manipulate it. They know it. Somebody said, did Thon reference the ACA? Absolutely. I have learned so much great stuff from the ACA. Yes. Shouts out to Matthew Dillahunty and all the great people over there. Nothing but kind people over there at the ACA out in Austin, Texas. Great people. It was how I learned about religious indoctrination. It would help me learn what we're dealing with. Over here in the black community, religious indoctrination looks really bad, just like in any other community. It's just, I think we have even more of an incentive to study these things and look at this. It's affected us for generation after generation after generation. We've had to deal with these things when it comes to religious indoctrination. It's been very important. I knew I was going to take a moment to just talk about it because it isn't being spoken about enough in other avenues. This is one area of our development we don't really hit on. Look at what we're dealing with. Look how real the world is getting, how hard it's becoming to live. I ask, how much time left do we have to devote to things that we are not sure how it benefits us? We just know we're supposed to do it. Black people, do you think we have time to blindly do anything? We don't. We don't have time to blindly do anything. That's the truth. Squared Away says, I'll email you an update for my appearance. Yeah, email it to me. I want to see it. Atheist community of Austin. It is a great community. Oh, yeah, and Matt Dillahunty did leave the ACA. It was really messy. It was terrible. It sucked. Because like most of us, Matt Dillahunty was the reason why most of us found the ACA. So it's like, how does that work? You know, very, very disturbing. I hate that all great things have to come to an end. When you're always working with large groups of people, we find a way to separate. People get busy, people get consumed, egos get involved. Great people over there. They help me learn how to decipher things that are going on in my own community, and things that I'm more interested in, topics that Black people don't really want to touch. So I had to go on my own unique discovery process of what type of information I needed to gather. But yeah, it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. It's ThonLexy. Much love to our show sponsors, especially those people who came through and put us over a goal there at the last minute. Much love to Kendra, who came through and supported right there at the end. I appreciate all of you guys for helping us keep this viable. Much love. Thank you for supporting. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you tomorrow.